Wow.
Jake Paul, I mean, as of right now, for what he's doing, it's good for what he's doing. But once he fights a real fighter, it's going to be bad.
I don't like it.
Is it because of the...
Jay, I look at Mike as like, I look at him different.
Floyd Mayweather recently shared his thoughts on the highly anticipated fight between Mike Tyson and Jake Paul, offering an analysis that drew significant attention from both fans and boxing commentators.
Is he someone you're interested in or no?
Well, you know, if you go back, you got to do your homework, look on the internet. I think he was doing a sit down on a podcast one time, and he talked about it. He said, I don't want to do an exhibition. But one thing I like about him, one thing I do like about him, he's selling it. He's selling it, and he's making good money, and he's entertaining. I like it.
At the same time, Mike Tyson delivered another chilling message directed at Jake Paul. Tyson recently posted on Snapchat, sharing a close-up photo of himself drenched in sweat. Alongside the image, he wrote the beginning of his well-known quote, "Everyone has a plan until they," a reference to his famous statement about how strategies fall apart once a fighter gets hit square in the face. Not long after, Tyson uploaded another photo showing him striking the pads during training. Captioned simply, "All eyes on me." Tyson's trainer, Rafael Cordero, expects the matchup to be more strategic than one-sided. While many anticipate a brutal outcome, Cordero believes the contest will involve skill and careful execution. According to him, Jake Paul is capable in the ring and isn't intimidated, which could make the fight competitive. Even so, Cordero is confident Tyson's power will play a major role. He explained that Tyson's punches carry immense force, and it will be difficult for Paul to avoid them throughout the fight. In his view, once Paul experiences that power, it will reveal a lot about how the bout will unfold. Cordero also suggested that the pressure could cause Paul to panic during key moments, something Tyson would welcome. Jake Paul, however, has responded with bold words of his own. In a recent statement, he joked that he plans to give Tyson a taste of his own medicine by biting his ear. The remark was a clear reference to Tyson's infamous disqualification after biting a piece of Evander Holyfield's ear during their historic 1997 fight, a moment that remains one of boxing's most talked about incidents. Paul later addressed the challenge of facing Tyson in another interview. He argued that many people are overlooking his ability to handle Tyson's power. At the same time, he admitted the fight represents the most dangerous opponent he has faced so far. Despite Tyson's age, Paul acknowledged that punching power is usually the last attribute a fighter loses. Still, Paul's comments have sparked strong reactions online. Some fans mocked his training footage, with one critic joking that even their grandmother punches harder. Another claimed Tyson would peel him apart in the ring. A different commenter pointed out that Paul's movements appear easy to read and questioned how he could expect to defeat someone like Tyson. The tension surrounding the fight also connects to the ongoing friction between the Paul brothers and Floyd Mayweather. Their rivalry dates back to the 2021 exhibition match between Logan Paul and Mayweather. The animosity continued the following year when Jake Paul and Mayweather nearly got into a physical confrontation outside an arena while attending a Miami Heat versus Cleveland Cavaliers game.
What are you supposed to be?
I'm just working, man.
What happened? You're not tough anymore since your loss? What happened since your loss? Yo, we gonna bust him up, guys?
I told you before, put that
Yo, let's bust him up. Where you running, Jake? Where you going since your fight? Since you lost? What's up, Jake? Where you going, Jake? Oh, he's running! He's running! Look at...
Logan Paul recently appeared on the show In Depth with Graham Bensinger, where he made a striking claim about the ongoing tension between Floyd Mayweather and his brother, Jake Paul. During the interview, Logan suggested that Mayweather still holds a serious grudge against Jake following their past confrontations. According to Logan, the situation became tense enough that Jake has not gone anywhere without security since their last encounter. He explained that the incident left a lasting impact, adding that Mayweather is surrounded by people who are extremely loyal to him. Logan was referring to the chaotic moment that occurred when Jake Paul approached Mayweather during a promotional event. In that confrontation, Jake grabbed Mayweather's hat and ran off with it, a move that immediately sparked an aggressive reaction and quickly went viral online. For anyone unfamiliar with the incident, footage from that moment shows the heated exchange between the two fighters, with Jake snatching the hat from Floyd and triggering a brief but intense confrontation.
What's up? You want to run it 2 on 1 night?
Absolutely.
You want to run it 2 on 1 night?
Absolutely.
So let's make it happen.
Let's do it.
Let's make it happen.
Let's make it happen.
Yes, sir.
Get the paperwork for this bum.
Get Al Heyman.
Absolutely. I don't need Al Heyman.
Let me call Al Heyman.
I'm my own boss. I'm my own
2 on
boss.
1 night. Got your hat.
While talking about the infamous hat-snatching moment, Logan Paul revealed that Jake had actually told him about the idea beforehand. However, Logan admitted he didn't expect his brother to really follow through with it. Logan explained that Jake mentioned the plan in advance, but he assumed it was just talk. When Jake actually grabbed Floyd Mayweather's hat, the situation quickly escalated. According to Logan, the stunt immediately made him worry about his own safety. He said the moment left him feeling exposed to danger, especially because the timing could not have been worse. At the time, Logan was preparing for what he described as the most important event of his life. He later explained that if he had been injured while trying to protect Jake, whether it meant breaking his hand, suffering a concussion, or being attacked by Mayweather's entourage, it would have jeopardized that major moment only weeks away. Meanwhile, Mike Tyson built his reputation by taking on some of the toughest opponents of his generation throughout his legendary boxing career. In a conversation with Steve Farhood on Showbox, Tyson was asked to name a dream opponent from any era of boxing history. Without hesitation, Tyson chose Floyd Mayweather. He said he would have loved the opportunity to face him in the ring. At the same time, Tyson acknowledged that a real fight between them could never happen because of the significant weight difference between the two fighters. Even so, Tyson said that if such a matchup were possible, he would approach it differently than the fighters who previously faced Mayweather. Farhood laughed at the comment, while Tyson explained why a fight against Mayweather would have been so fascinating. Tyson emphasized that defeating Mayweather would require a ruthless strategy. He said he would likely fight aggressively and even use rough tactics because Mayweather's skill makes him extremely difficult to handle in a clean, technical bout. According to Tyson, Mayweather's defensive style and ring IQ make him one of the hardest fighters to beat. In another interview, Tyson also recalled a moment when Mayweather compared himself to Muhammad Ali and even suggested he might be greater. Tyson strongly rejected that claim. He openly criticized the comparison and dismissed Mayweather's statement, describing the idea as unrealistic and calling Mayweather very delusional.
He's very delusional. He can't listen. If he was anywhere near that realm of great Ali, he'd be able to take his to school by himself. Okay, he can't take his kid to school by himself. And he talking about he's great. Greatness is not guarding yourself from the people. Greatness is being accepted by the people. He can't take his kids alone to school by himself.
Shifting back to the anticipated clash between Mike Tyson and Jake Paul, former boxing champion Roy Jones Jr. has shared his thoughts on how the fight could play out. Jones, who stepped into the ring with Tyson during their 2020 exhibition match, believes Tyson still carries the kind of punching power that can cause serious problems for any opponent. Reflecting on his own experience, Jones explained that Tyson's punches still felt just as dangerous as they did during his prime years. According to him, if Tyson lands a clean shot on someone's chin, it could be trouble for anyone standing in front of him, regardless of who they are. Jones made it clear that he respects Jake Paul and acknowledged the progress Paul has made in boxing. However, he pointed out that Tyson's strength remains a major factor. Using his own fight with Tyson as an example, Jones suggested that even a much younger fighter like Paul could struggle if he absorbs the same kind of shots, that he also mentioned that the matchup could generate strong interest from fans. With the event now expected to take place as an official fight rather than an exhibition, Jones believes it could attract significant attention and produce impressive viewership numbers. Despite that optimism, Tyson's age and long periods of inactivity have led many people to question the matchup. Critics often point out that Jake Paul tends to face opponents outside the traditional boxing circuit, and some believe this fight follows the same pattern. Another boxing legend, Bernard Hopkins, has voiced strong opposition to the idea of Tyson stepping into the ring with Paul. Hopkins argued that Tyson's legendary status in the sport means he should be treated with a certain level of respect. In his view, putting Tyson in this kind of matchup risks diminishing that legacy. Hopkins explained that the fight simply doesn't interest him. He even remarked that watching two turtles race would be more exciting. To him, Tyson belongs in the same category as icons like Muhammad Ali, Marvin Hagler, and Sugar Ray Robinson. Fighters, he believes, should be remembered for their greatness rather than appearing in what he sees as spectacle-driven bouts. According to Hopkins, the event feels less like a traditional boxing contest and more like a show designed for attention. He described it as turning into a sideshow that might include sweat and possibly some blood, but still lacks the appeal he expects from a serious fight. Because of that, Hopkins said he has no intention of watching it.
I don't like it. I think it's become more of a sideshow with some sweat, maybe some blood, if we're lucky. I won't watch it. No, I can watch two turtles race and be more excited.
Bernard Hopkins continued to voice his concerns, saying the situation risks undermining Mike Tyson's legacy. In Hopkins' view, even if Tyson earns an enormous payday from the event, the matchup does not reflect the level of respect that a figure of Tyson's stature deserves. Hopkins explained that his opinion comes from personal experience. He pointed out that he not only fought during the same era as Tyson, but also shared time in the ring with him. Because of that connection to the generation of fighters Tyson represents, Hopkins believes this kind of spectacle takes away from the dignity of Tyson's achievements. He acknowledged that Tyson could make massive earnings, possibly hundreds of millions, but said the financial reward doesn't change how he feels about it at the same time. Another name from the combat sports world entered the conversation. Bare-knuckle fighter Mike Perry publicly called out Jake Paul ahead of Paul's scheduled summer fight with Tyson. When asked who he would want to face in a bare-knuckle contest, Perry quickly named Paul. Perry also delivered a warning regarding the Tyson matchup. He said that if Paul were to seriously hurt Tyson, he would want the chance to step in and face him himself. Perry previously served as one of Paul's sparring partners while Paul prepared for his 2021 boxing match against Ben Askren. Reports suggest Perry is a major admirer of Tyson, which partly explains why he reacted strongly to the idea of Tyson potentially being injured in the bout. During the same discussion, Perry noted that Paul has taken on challenges many people believed he would avoid. Perry admitted that the reputation of bare-knuckle fighting as something dangerous or intimidating was actually part of what attracted him to the sport. Even so, he openly challenged Paul, suggesting that if Paul defeats Tyson, he should prove himself in a tougher test. Perry went as far as proposing a street fight between the two, claiming it would reveal Paul's true abilities. While acknowledging that Paul has some level of skill, Perry questioned the significance of his previous victories and compared them to beating inexperienced opponents that he confidently predicted that if they fought bare-knuckle, he would defeat Paul quickly. Perry claimed he could hurt Paul badly enough to make him retreat from a fight, that no matter what the result turns out to be. The Tyson versus Paul matchup highlights how modern combat sports continue to blend competition, entertainment, and legacy. The discussion surrounding the fight reflects how these elements often collide, creating both excitement and controversy among fans and fighters alike. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of our upcoming content.